Learning to program is probably one of the best skills that you can probably pick up inside of 2024. Even though a lot of people have started to tout and talk about the fact that AI is going to take over all of the software engineering jobs, I don't believe that is going to be the thing that is going to happen though, because AI is still necessarily trained on data that we gave it. And by we, I mean it's still trained on data that doesn't reason for itself. So we are not necessarily in the age of general AI just yet. And even when we get there, we're still going to need someone to figure out what's going on with this machine in general in the first place. So learning to code, and more specifically learning specific languages, will bode well in 2024 going forward. In this video, I'm going to talk about a lot of things, or specifically 5 things to look for and 5 languages that you should probably look more into in this year, and again going into the next year and forward. Now, the first language that I'm going to speak about will be JavaScript, and it's really on this list because it is the do-all or do-it-all language, because it can go and be and practically solve any situational problem. You will find it in mobile apps, you will find it in web apps, you will find it on servers, you will find it in game development as well. And I believe, if not mistaken, by this time you can also build desktop apps with JavaScript as well. So you can really do anything with JavaScript. JavaScript is a language that you should have a grasp on. It is a very weird language to learn, but it is something that you should learn in your career. Probably one of the first languages you should learn if you're going in a high level language area. Now, if you're going to go bare metal or direct to the actual metal, then you should probably do something different. But JavaScript will serve in a bunch of different areas all over the world. So learning JavaScript is never going to be a bad thing. Next on our list is Python. Python is really, again, one of those do-it-all languages that you should have in your back pocket. Now, with everything that is going on in terms of AI and machine learning, having Python as a skill that you can go into any corporation or start your own business with is invaluable in today's age, because not only can you do machine learning and AI with Python, you can also just do regular data analytic stuff with Python that you would need to do in your day-to-day life, like balancing your checkbook or something like that. Do people still have checkbook? Balancing your account so that you don't overdraft in your account, for example. Or you can even automate your investment strategies if you want to do this inside of, say, like an Excel spreadsheet or inside of Google Sheets or something like that. Use Python in a bunch of different areas and domains, because again, you can build apps with Python, you can build games with Python with Pygame, you can build web apps and APIs with Python with Fast API and Flask, and obviously with AI and machine learning, you can do computer vision, deep learning, and all kinds of things in that realm as well. Python is probably one of the powerful languages in today's society because of what it can do and all the packages that come with it. So again, if you need a specific breakdown of what that can do, if you're going in the web development route, you got Flask and Fast API, AI and machine learning, you have TensorFlow, Keras, PySpark. The list of those packages can go on forever. And then you also have, like I said, Pygame if you want to go the game route and do some game development. Again, Python is a do-it-all language. So learning it this year, again, is a superpower that you want to put in your arsenal. If you are trying to look into building your own web browser, maybe you want to look into using or learning Rust, because Rust allows you to play inside of the sandbox of VR operating systems and the aforementioned web browser. And if you need some convincing on some notable apps that actually use Rust, we have Dropbox, Figma, Cloudflare, Coursera, and Discord of all things. So maybe you want to build the next Discord, or maybe you want to build the next Dropbox. Whatever your idea is, you can do it or learn Rust to actually get it done, and it would be a good superpower to have in your developer arsenal in the next coming years. Now, if you want to go in the systems networking administration route, you probably want to go with something like Go. No pun intended. But Go can be used, like I said, in networking, systems programming, video and audio editing, and engineering, and it can also be used in big data as well. But the main thing with Go is it is a slightly higher level language, kind of the way that it looks, but it allows you to get really close or low level to the actual metal without having to learn a language like C or C++. So if you are trying to get into robotics as well, you could also use Go to do that here as well. Learning Go in this year would probably be a power that you would want to put in your arsenal so that you can do a bunch of different things with robotics, systems programming, and databases even. And last but definitely not least on our list would be C++. Put C++ at the bottom of this list because it is not necessarily going to be the first language that a person directly off of the street should start with in terms of learning programming, because there's just so many things to actually contend with. Get something as simple as hello world to work. But that is not to say that C++ is not a powerful language. Quite the contrary. Actually, it is one of the most powerful languages that you can learn because you can build anything.
Great Scott. I know, this is heavy.
And when I mean anything, I literally mean anything from your own programming language, or really you would probably be better off learning C to do that. But if you learn C++, you kind of already know a little bit of C anyway, but you can build your own programming language if you wanted to, because believe it or not, Python is a derivative of C, which itself is the grandfather of C++. If you get what I'm trying to get at here, you could build programming language or anything that your mind cooks up, from a game or a desktop app to even a database if you want to get that crazy. If we're really venturing out here, build your own operating system and you can do whatever you want. So learning C++, like I said, is not a thing that is to be taken lightly at all. But if you do learn C++ and have it in your back pocket, I've been saying that a lot in this video, but if you have it in your back pocket, you can do anything and control pretty much whatever you want that is machine driven. Maybe you're crazy enough to want to build your own game. Go for it, because now you have C++ at your disposal and you can literally go into any C language that you want to and be dangerous. Because again, now you can go into C or C#, because C# is the main de facto language for game development. C++ is as well. To wrap this up, you can do a bunch of different things inside of the C++ world if you decide to go down that route. But I must forewarn you, it is a route that has a bunch of booby traps and mines inside of it, because C++ is not for the faint of heart. All right, so now you have more tools to actually go and be dangerous inside of the development world, or at least you have a place to start if you haven't already. And if you haven't started yet, might as well start with Python, and I have a video that will explain exactly what you need to know in terms of Python right here. So go ahead and click that video and I'll see you in the next one, and until then, blurt out.